You had that determination to make that relationship work. You really, really wanted it. You had that drive. Not us. Our drive was to put you together. Gentlemen, welcome back to another video. My name is Striker.
My name is Luba.
And today we are going to talk about failures and successes when it comes to dating in Ukraine. And we're not necessarily talking about in the short term. We're talking about in the long term. Now, let me rewind just a little bit to my first ever video, one of my first ever videos, probably the second or third video, where I talk about success rates at these companies that they say that they promote, right? And I kind of believed into it as well. It's like, wow, they've got 80% or 90% or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, of these success rates, right? And when I was there, I realized that was kind of like BS, right? I knew that wasn't true because I saw what was happening. And since then, we've spoken to, I don't know, how many people who have been on that same place and multiple other ones as well that all have like, very low success rates, right? And so when we were coming up with how we should run Heart Rocket, after we wrote the course and then we decided, Luba took a client, he became successful, and we thought, well, how should we do this? How should we measure success? Because in every business, for you guys that are in business, you have to measure success somehow, whether it's customer acquisition or whether it's like sales or whether it's money or whatever it is. And in this industry here, it doesn't seem right to measure it in money, right? Because it's not that difficult if you really want to make a lot of money by sending 20 guys into a room with a bunch of ladies. That's not that difficult, right? So we couldn't measure it on money. So we had to measure it on something else. And our success rate was, which we've talked about before, we won't talk about it too much in this video here, was that you have an amazing time in Ukraine. You meet a lot of awesome, amazing ladies that are caring, that show you a different side of dating in terms of a dating experience, like human interaction. And that when you get home, you hate being at home, you want to come back to Ukraine, whether that relationship worked or not.
Mm-hmm.
But what actually happens is that in this industry is that all of the companies talk about their success rates, right?
And you know what's the reason for that? The reason for that is that because nowadays, like everybody's checking for this, like, the measure of success of the company is like, their success rate, where a lot of guys been asking us, why don't you show your couples, or why don't you, say how many success couples?
Yeah, but this is, I guess it all ties in together, right? Because I knew that on my tour, there was videos of guys on their tour and afterwards talking about their success.
But you know that these guys like
but they didn't. Yeah, I'm going to put a link up here about like I don't know, check it out. But I talk about this in a video years ago.
You're talking about that they end up empty hands, right?
Yeah. So but here's and exactly. And so this is where it comes down to. It's like a company is happy to claim success on something, right? Whether it's just,
as soon as possible.
And let's just say that it's not one of these bullshit successes where the guy's like happy for 1 week with a lady and then it turns to shit, right? Because that does happen, right? There's a 2-month wall, we call it the 3-month wall, right? So I'm not including those, right? What I'm talking about is a real success. The guy got married. He came to Ukraine, he came back again, went through all the processes, he did the K1 visa, and he got married. And now they're living together in the United States. Maybe they have a kid together, and it's like 3 or 4 years down the track. And they claim that as their success. Well away from this whole glamorization of the success of all of the clients, completely from this, right? Because here's the thing. The success is not determined by us. It's determined by you. Yes, we can create a situation where you're going to meet a lady that has the same goals and hopefully the same interests, same values as you, but you're the one that makes it worse. But the thing that really kind of, I wouldn't say it pisses me off, but I think it's like I can see through it because I understand it, is that they'll claim a success, but they won't claim a failure, right? And so if something bad, like let's just say, for example, 2 couples get together, and it looks great. You put a story up, hey, it's a successful couple, and then he cheats on her in 2 years, right? If you're going to claim the success of that relationship, then you should claim the failure of that relationship as well, right? Because she could come back to you and say, whoa, this guy that you set me up with, he ended up cheating on me, or he ended up abusing me or cheating me or something like that. And the company's going to say, hey, that's not on us, right? But on the other hand, if the guy's paid money to the company and he finds out that the woman that he was dating was getting money from some other guy overseas, he's going to come back to the company and blame that company as well. And he has to take responsibility for it, right? Because he was the one that took 10 grand or 5 grand or whatever it is. So at the start, we can't be responsible for the guy's successes because it is on him, right? It's up to you to conduct yourself well. It's up to you to be charming. It's up to you to have done well in life, well enough that you can support this lady, right? You're in a position now. We didn't put you in that position. The same with the lady as well. We never made sure that she was beautiful her whole life, that was feminine, that she actually really wanted to have a family. We just introduced two people together, and it's up to you guys to make it work. We're not going to claim the successes that you have done as same way that we're not going to claim the failures that you have done as well. Because if we had some way to control people, if we had some way, we wouldn't be doing dating, we'd be in politics or something, right? Surely, we'd be doing something that was like could change the world. It's up to you. We're just merely creating a situation, right? It's up to you to make it work. But if you do something that's bad, if you have some intentions in your mind that we couldn't pick up at the start, or she does as well, then that's up to you to figure that out as well.
And by this video, we're not trying to cover ourselves saying like, that the couples that created are like breaking up. No, but
I think we have a great success rate.
Yeah, I mean,
if we were to talk about success rates, yeah.
And like we do have a lot of marriages that for me, like to be honest, this is the success rate. Like this is when the people apply for visa, they met, they like each other, they got engaged, they apply for visa, and in these difficult times, they actually was able to move, and be together in the country. They got approval by visa. There is like maybe some complications as we did in summer we had when the lady was going to move in June, but then she got problems because when you do the American visa, you need to go through medical examination. Before that, she got COVID, so they saw like she was already good, but they saw something in her lungs, so it takes 2 more extra months for them to do some extra examination. Finally, everything went fine, and in August she moved. So like this, of course, like for me, yes, as a matchmaker, I think that when people engaged, when they're going through the process, when they communicate still, and everything is good, and they're getting visa, yes, for me this is a success rate. But in general, in the big picture, there is not such a. You need to understand if it is successful for you or no. And you need to work on that, because we can, as strikers say, we can introduce you to somebody, but that you like and she likes you, but how will you both maintain this relationship and make them work? We don't know, and we can't force you. And sometimes we include it in a lot of conversation with our clients. We know a lot. We know some private, even intimate details that it's great. Like we're very proud, like we're very honored that the people sharing that with us. But at the same time, and we try to support, we try to understand what is the difference between like his mindset as a Westerner and your mindset as a Ukrainian, and we sit and we have a full meeting, when we're discussing one of the issues. But so we try to do our best, but at the same time we can't say, and like when people just met, and it was only one time during all these years, because I always try to be very cold-minded when I messaged the striker and I sent him picture from the date, because when he's not with us on the tour, I sent him and I said I want him to marry her. This was the only time when I was like absolutely like, wow, that was like, it was like Cupid with the arrow. The rest is like, it's great, people having a good connection, but sometimes it takes longer to build it, sometimes it take less. But in general, the success rate is really on you, not on us. Yeah. And it's not that we're taking out our responsibilities, right? Like we're still doing our job as best as we can.
Of course.
But how will you keep this relationship? Will there going to be fuck-ups, or will there be...
because if you actually talk to a lot of these, like they all know, they just like the whole success rate selling point. Like I hate it. Like I hate Luba knows, like I hate sales. I hate trying to sell things to people. I don't feel comfortable with it. And so the whole success rate selling point, I hate it so much, because not only is it misleading, especially if it's a first time coming over here, but it's embellished as well, right? It's why, and if the thing that's going to make these agencies fight for you to be a customer or a client for them is success rates, and you've seen it already. It's like it was 60%, 70%, 80%. Now one of them is like 90%. Well, I know that 100%. I know the owner of that company, and I know that it's rubbish. And so if you're giving over like $8, $7, $5, whatever $1,000 based on a success rate, then you're being scammed. right? And that's the thing that sucks. And it's like, okay, so all of these Western agency owners are coming out there saying scam, 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 but then they're telling you these like rubbish success rates in order to get your money. That's not true. Well, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe we need to look up the definition of what is a scam and what is not a scam. But here's the thing. It's that if you meet a lady and you make a video with her and you get married to her, right? And then they'll claim it as a success. But then if something bad happens, let's just, I don't know, not you, but let's say someone else, he cheats on her. They're never going to make a video about that, are they? They're never going to say that, yeah, oh, it wasn't us that failed. Like it wasn't us. It was him. He's an idiot. But if he succeeds, oh yeah, that was us that did that. And this is the thing that I don't like. We have to understand that we're all on our own path doing this, right? We all have a different past, different experiences in life, which is going to shape what happens in the future. But it's not just you. There's also a woman there as well, right? She has her own paths, her own demons, her own insecurities. And you have to come together and you have to make it work yourself, you know. We have the Heart Rocket course, which helps you with some of that stuff, you know, trying to understand the mentality when it comes over here, comes to dating over here. But still, there are so many obstacles that you have to overcome. And when you do overcome those and you do get married, you go through the K1 and she lives there, that is because you went and did it. You overcome those obstacles, you know, because a lot of guys... just today, actually, I was messaging one of our clients from a couple of months ago about one of the main reasons that couples like have these fights at the start, and it's because they don't understand what the other person's intentions are, right?
Yeah.
It's probably a video for another day, and it's like a trust issue, right? They test each other too much, you know? And you got past that. You got past this and this one and this one where everybody else gave up. And you made it work yourself. You had that desire to do that. And she had it as well. You had that determination to make that relationship work. You really, really wanted it. You had that drive. Not us. Our drive was to put you together.
I just want to say that, you know, I actually sitting and thinking about that, you know, for all the matchmakers, like it's our job, you know, to introduce people. And we can, like, it's the same as like if you know, if the lady came to the shop and she tried the dress on and she decided to buy it, it's not a success rate of the shop. You know, yes, she found it and like she fit in this dress and it looks good on her, because on somebody else it can look like really bad and out of shape. So this is not like we are giving the product that we shouldn't hype on, like, oh, she fit in our dress. No, like, yes, of course it's very exciting. Like when people are like matching together, when one of our couples, like they went to Italy together, and she has a kid, and the kid there, like he came to our guy and he said, you know, I like, thank you so much, can I call you dad? They're not even married yet. And so the guy started, like he said, like, Luba, I didn't want to cry in front of the kid, and the kid is 10 years old, so it's not that, you know, the kid is like baby. And so of course this make us happy. And I was talking to our partner from that agency, because the lady definitely gave the feedback to the agency, and our client gave feedback for us. So of course it's very, very pleasant. And of course, like, I'm like the way he talked about that, of course he's coming for Christmas now. I think that he already in Ukraine, and he gonna stay here as long as he can, and he gonna propose to her. I hope that everything will be great, but this is like, you know, we just did our job well. So as in a dressing shop, like we just have enough of an option for you to choose the right one that you are happy with. But the rest is like, how will you dress it? Like, what you will do with that? How will you clean it? I want to repeat again that it's just our job as a matchmaker to introduce you to the right lady for you. But you know, everything happening for a reason. Like one of the good companies according to, you know, big YouTube channel and etc. So if they would not fuck up with one of our clients, like we probably would never even do our tours, because like they didn't accomplish their matchmaking job. Like they didn't, like they can't offer him this nice dress, like even though they was like talking about that so much. But if that would not happen, like if they would
but we've had many clients from other companies.
No, but how it started, you know, the very first one, you know, is that but I think that in general is that the guy, like the agency or the matchmaker or whatever you want to call us, you know, this industry, it is their job. It is normal for us. It's not something like extraordinary to introduce you to the right people and try to match you. This is our job. And the rest, like successes and stuff, this is like, I think that you should put a benchmark for yourself and think, did it went successfully for me or no?
But anyway, that's just some thoughts that I thought that I would kind of throw out there. And we talk about this a bit because we see some of these videos and it's like, are they fucking serious? Are they serious? Like, we had a guy that was on like I went on a tour, and then we had a guy last week, remember him? And he did the tour after, I think it might have been before he jumped on the call. Same year, or maybe...
With you?
Yeah, no, not with me, but the tour afterwards, because he said that he saw like me on the videos. And I said, how many people got married on that tour? And he said, one I know, maybe two. And I said, how many people on that tour? And he said, 22. 27 on mine and one. So like this is the thing that really pisses me off, because it doesn't need to be full of shit. It needs to be, it is what it is. If you think you can do it, come and do it. But it's on you, right? It's not like it's amazing and there's such high success rate and you will be successful. It's like, it is what it is. It's like I wouldn't say going to a casino, but when you go to a casino or you play something or it's pay to play, you take the risk and you own it, as long as you know what that risk is. If someone tells you if you go to the casino, you've got a 95% chance of winning and you lose every single time, and you've been there 100 times, it's like you realize that you just got screwed on the whole marketing part of it. It's up to you. Make a decision and then you go on and do it.
The difference between like all kind of businesses that I've been in and you, I don't know, maybe because you're from New Zealand, for me it was kind of like all of my like bosses where I've been working, not just dating, not just in this industry. I was like, let's say something more, let's do something extra, let's tell them that it's like everything is like the tour. When I was working in travel agency, tell that there's no tickets, make them worry. And I was like, why do you need to do that like to people? Like if they saving money, they will go, or like something like that. And with Striker, even though like I had this like kind of marketing idea, sometimes he say no, like nothing will go through him when I try to maybe make something.
But that's because marketing is skewed.
But it's good. That's what I say is that I think that we don't need, like, I just realize it now that you don't need it, because it's like when the guys open, the girl has like 10,000 subscribers on Instagram. It's bullshit. Like when you open them, you understand that they're fake.
But people realize it. People understand it. And the thing is with this industry, it's much different than selling like like a pen or a car or something. You can use technicals, right? You can say, well, this car has technically got so much torque, or it can do this, or whatever, it can go this amount of miles on gas or electricity or whatever. You can kind of not eschew those numbers, but you can emphasize actual facts, right? But in this industry, there really is no facts, right? A lot of it is about feelings and emotions, right? And so we have to acknowledge those things, and we have to say, okay, that's what it is. If you want to do it, come and do it. That's it. That's the only way to explain it. So, that's what I believe anyway.
Yeah, it's a tough topic, like not super comfortable, but at the same time interesting to discuss, because the most important is to listen to yourself and find the people who you feel comfortable to work with as a matchmakers. Because as I say, I think that to introducing people to each other, this is essential of our work. The same as any kind of business need to satisfy needs of their clients and customers. So this is about that. If you like this video, please put your likes, and if you're watching till this moment, please
comment down below on something.
Yeah,
everyone always says that at the end of videos.
Yeah, and subscribe to our Telegram community. We will be happy to see you there.
We'll see you guys later.